Culture shapes a person's attitudes, beliefs, and practices. It is multidimensional and nuanced, consisting of both surface culture and deep culture. This cultural complexity increases when individuals immigrate to a new country. As a result, immigrants often find themselves navigating the challenges of multiple cultural identities and expectations. Now imagine the chaos in the mind of an individual immigrating from their motherland to a new country. Many questions may flood their mind. What happens then when immigrant families have children, parents, or other kin with disabilities when they arrive in the United States? Do families have access to the appropriate rehabilitation services that their loved ones need to have a rich quality of life? The demographic data from the U.S. Census Bureau shows a consistent increase in the number of immigrants from the Indian subcontinent, and these individuals represent one of the largest demographic groups entering the U.S. from Asia. Despite evolving U.S. demographics, a significant ethnic gap persists among rehabilitation providers, limiting their ability to meet diverse cultural needs. It is therefore essential to prioritize accessibility, equity, and inclusion for Asian Indian immigrants with disabilities. In an attempt to understand the experiences and perspectives of stakeholders, we interviewed 3 Asian Indian immigrants: a speech-language pathologist, Ms. Joyce John, a parent of an individual with a disability, Mr. Paul Neagley, and a professor and scholar with a disability, Dr. Pushpa Parekh. There are multiple barriers experienced by Asian Indian immigrants seeking rehabilitation support. Let's hear some real-life experiences to enhance our understanding of these barriers. Cultural differences with respect to self-expression, identity, and social views of disability may further exacerbate the existing barriers. Here, Ms. Joyce John illustrates how she has observed this phenomenon in her practice as a school-based speech-language pathologist.
Back in India, we learn to be respectful. If you have to ask something, you're like really scared and you would be like thinking twice if you have to ask it. But here, people are taught to be like confident. If you want to ask something, just ask on the face. So that's a difference.
Due to lack of transparency in sharing of resources, many families in need of rehabilitation do not receive adequate support. Mr. Paul Neagley highlights that without a strong sense of self-advocacy, families may be left without crucial rehabilitation resources.
You keep silent, you're not going to get anything. You don't get anything. You have to fight for your child. Then only you get. Okay, nobody's going to give you like free. So your things. Hey, I have the right to ask for my.
However, even when the family members do advocate for their loved ones, they may be met with prejudice and hostility.
She said, I don't entertain people coming from the street. That's the word. That's a director who was talking to me. Maybe she's thinking I'm an Indian. I don't know anything. I just came and I don't know anything.
Let's now take a look at the possible solutions suggested by our stakeholders. Dr. Parekh illustrates that comprehensive cultural competency education is crucial.
I think it is the training that's changed, and there is greater awareness in education field as such about cultural sensitivity.
Furthermore, Ms. Joyce asserts that we must ensure that the resources are available and accessible for family members so that they are well equipped with the right services for their loved ones.
There's a lot of things out here, and US is an amazing place, and there's a lot of resources, a lot of help, a lot of amazing people, a lot of facilities. I would say there's everything out here. The lack of knowledge is the problem. So educating our people when they come from there, and even when they reach here, if they have access to resources, that would be like amazing.
Finally, Dr. Parekh sheds light on the importance of person-centered care, especially as it pertains to clinicians treating individuals from Indian cultural backgrounds.
For me, a person-centered care would involve centering the person who has come for some care is placed at the center of this interaction. But there is an interaction going on, and it's important that the person feels like, being recognized, is being valued, and is referred to all the time. It's not like assumptions are playing out the game, right? It's what the person says and feels and thinks that are important.
It is important to take action to build a diverse rehabilitation workforce that represents the rich tapestry of our communities, ensuring that immigrants with disabilities receive culturally responsible and equitable support. you.